You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's American Horror Story After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's American Horror Story After Show.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ, it scared the living daylights out of me. The show or the song? The intro. Good evening, AfterBuzzers. We are here at the AfterBuzz TV studios doing things the way things always should be done with Bing. I am your host for the evening, David Schifilliti. If I'm the only one you recognize from last season, that is because all the other hosts from last season have jumped ship. We are joined with new faces to American Horror Story, not new faces to AfterBuzz.
It's just like the series.
It's a lot like the series.
Just like the series.
Same creators, different people.
And David is a nun this time. It's crazy.
I know.
I don't know.
Well, let's go around the table, introduce ourselves. To my left, we have
Stephen Lemieux.
Across the table,
Jacque Borowski.
And
hello, everyone. I'm JC Rubio.
What? This is very formal. Very formal. We are doing
Can you adjust your tie real quick?
American Horror Story Season 2, Episode 1. Welcome to Briarcliff.
Does anyone else think Briarcliff? I know that they don't say where it is except for East Coast.
It's Boston. Come on.
It's Boston.
It has to be Boston because he was like, in the beginning he said we drove to Provincetown to get married.
Right, and then everybody has a Boston accent.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I picked, the accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right off the bat. And so, initial thoughts on our return to American Horror Story. Is it better than Season 1? Is it going to live up to Season 1?
It's hard to say right now.
I know that it is. It is.
It's hard to say because the first episode has so many things that they just throw at you, and you're kind of like, it can go this way or it can go that way.
To add to that, I was underwhelmed because I was overwhelmed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All the new info,
I was
or?
underwhelmed by the episode because I felt like they were, like you said, trying to do too many things at once.
Mm-hmm.
It was like they're bringing in so many plot lines, and still, you know that they've left out things because you know that they've left out major characters already, and so I was like, oh my gosh, where is this going? What's going on? There's way too many.
Was it because of the
way too many
edits?
stories.
Do you think the way they edited the episode compared to what we saw last year, because they interviewed Ryan Murphy about it, and I guess tonally it's totally different. Like last year was more like it was slower, the cuts were slower, and now it's like just cut after cut after cut, and it's supposed to keep you off balance.
I think that's paced by the writing. I mean, in the writing, you have introduce this character, introduce this character, introduce this character, and then in the clip we get for the next episode, there's still more characters to be introduced, and so you're like, what? And they each have a story, and there's so many themes going on that all I was thinking the whole time is this better all tie in, otherwise I'm gonna be mad.
Well, it eventually is going to have to come together. I mean, it did last season. They did sort of the same thing to us where they introduced characters as the season went on, and like halfway through the season we got new characters and stuff like that. But
I didn't feel so bombarded last season. This season I felt like someone was just punching me in the face repeatedly.
Well, it is a different genre than last season.
Well, last season it's still like, I think they were expecting most of the viewer base to be the original American Horror Story, because last season they really lead you into it. They kind of baby you into the series a bit for the first 2 episodes. This one was like, oh, you've seen American Horror Story before? We're going to throw this at you.
I disagree.
Really?
I think they were banking on, because this is their highest rated show so far.
Yeah.
And I think they were banking on...
For FX.
For American.
For the
I was
series,
talking for the series.
Okay.
This is the highest rated show for the series.
All right.
And so I think that they were hoping to get not only the old audience, but a whole new audience as well by A, marketing it in a different way, and then B, having a throw at your face marketing campaign, which I guess does match the pace of the episode because it's the same kind of in your face.
Also, you have to expect by putting in someone like Adam Levine in your first episode and promoting it so much, he's been on The Voice now, his fame has only grown to newer and better.
Well, you've got hot guy
So,
and hot girl like opening up the episode to draw people in, like new-faced hot guy, new-faced hot girl.
Juan.
I'm just kidding.
I don't find her
I don't find her that
but-
attractive either. But,
I'm not
you
a
know.
big fan of her either. Sure, she's a pretty girl, but just not my type for some reason.
I think she peaked at Step Up.
I think so too.
Let's just put that out
I didn't
there.
even see stuff.
Damn, that is.
How do you think she met her husband?
through Step Up.
Unnecessary roughness.
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of mean.
5
to
minutes
her.
in.
Yeah, Jackie.
She peaked at. Yeah, what if we get her on the
didn't say
show now,
that.
Jackie? Yeah.
I
was
am
just
sure
kidding.
she's
I
a
was
wonderful
just kidding.
person. I just think her face looks like an alien.
Whoa! Well, that would go with the series.
Yes. Speaking of.
Unnecessary roughness.
Come on.
Phil, can you have like
Phil
a penalty
is-
box for Jackie, perhaps?
Phil is button happy.
He is. I am too, though. It's
Drives me
fun.
nuts with his buttons.
Have you ever felt the power of? Anyway, off topic.
Anyway, completely off topic. Let's jump back to our season premiere, and since we're on the topic of aliens, we might as well talk about what happened
Aliens.
to Kit. What's his name? Kit Walker,
Walker.
played by Evan Peters.
First off, I think he's doing an amazing job. by the way.
Incredible.
I think with the wonderful thing about having some actors from the old cast is I feel like you really see a person's acting chops when they're compared to their old roles.
Yes.
And so when you see he's picking such subtle and amazing differences between the characterizations that he's doing, it's not like he's blowing you over and he's in your face, but he has picked such a subtle and wonderful characterization that I'm like, oh, this guy's good.
What differences? What as opposed to Tate from last year? What were those choices? What did you see that was different? I'm still trying to pick it up. I'm sorry. Call me the.
Well, Tate,
The
I
new
mean,
guy.
First off, he has a
was-
Boston accent. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
put
begin.
that out there.
Let's
Tate
throw
also
that
was
out there.
like a complete psychopath.
Right, Tate,
and Kit is not.
You kind of, it's interesting
yeah.
because of the choices he makes. Whereas this year he seems more wide-eyed and innocent about the things he's saying, about the movements he makes. Whereas last year you were like, oh, he's got shifty eyes. There's something creepy
He's very
going on,
calculated.
behind what he's saying.
I'm with you.
You agree, Stephen? You said that we think he still may be psycho. It's too early to tell. We do know that the good guys are now the bad guys are now the good guys, supposedly, according.
There's always going to be twists and turns. It is a Ryan Murphy show, and from
Right.
what we learned from last season alone, things are going to change on our perspectives of these actual characters and who we think they are and who we think is the lead isn't going to be the lead, who we think is going to be the actual storyteller won't be. We're just going to have to wait and see. It is only episode 1.
Yeah. I don't know. His character is it's similar and different at the same time. You're right, though. We are going to need to see more than one episode to see where it goes. But the beginning, he is I can see the first season a little bit in him, especially in like the scene with his wife. Like that just screamed when he was with.
Violet?
Yeah.
I disagree.
Really?
I
I
thought
disagree.
it was completely different.
It was
as well.
completely different because when you have sex with some kind of like weird latex dressing guy, the movements are a lot different. The investment in his relationship, I feel, is clear in this.
Right, and I
judge it
feel like Kit, when he was making love to his wife, he was in love
I'm sorry, I didn't
with
mean,
her.
yeah, he was in love with her.
And Tate was more infatuated with Violet,
Right.
it was like a different type of
That's a fair point.
of
yeah.
love.
It's a different level of development
Right,
too.
he was, like,
because Tate's like a
obsessed
high
with her.
schooler. We're assuming
Yeah.
that this guy is an
An
not
adult.
old, but an adult.
Yeah.
Probably like his young 20s,
Right.
early 20s. So.
Right. He has a job. He's old enough to have a house and be married. So it's
Speaking of which, him being married to a black woman in the 60s is one of the first political things I would think that they did throw out to us, putting an interracial couple in the 60s being like your opening. I thought it was a very interesting way to introduce this character and who he is.
Well, especially
as a
when
person.
they don't really introduce that he's in that relationship. They mostly just reference it with the 3 guys who go into the mechanic shop.
Right.
What was it, like Wood something? Or
Bill, his friend, his kind of frenemy Billy.
Yeah.
He talks about him getting a maid.
Exactly. So it was like kind of a reference. I was like, what was he talking about? And then you see her and you're like, Wow, that no wonder he was so pissed off and immediately like grabbed the gun out of the guy's hand, like after saying something like that about his wife. But they don't know it's his wife, do they?
But I'm wondering.
I think they do.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
almost
they
positive that they do.
I don't know.
Because he said,
It's
"Let's
a
tell
small
everyone."
town. It's a small
Yeah,
town.
it's like
Things
he's trying to
go
hide it, but
around.
you know.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know.
You know that they know.
I feel like that. I feel like that's the situation. It's like it's small enough where you know, but it's one of those things that's like not said.
Do you think she's gonna come back?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I even
don't.
You don't.
No.
Really?
I think since we already dealt with ghosts in the last season, that there's no reason to.
But maybe she's abducted by aliens.
She got killed. They
We
explained
don't
that
know.
she was
it
like
could
cut.
it could have been a body that was
skinned.
left there, or
That's
somebody else
true.
could be wearing her skin
And see,
when she comes back.
And that's what turned me off. It turns me off so far about
Alright.
this season. I'm more into the supernatural.
Yeah.
And it feels a little outer limits to me this season with the whole sci-fi. With the I don't know if you guys caught. You saw that he was actually got an anal probe from the alien.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God! Really?
It was like the feeling of watching Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You're like, oh no!
Oh yeah.
aliens.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. But it's not like it's like such a cliche of
Yeah.
aliens. You know. You're
would
not
put a chip in
seeing
you.
something new.
Well, it is a 60s reference to
That's
an
true.
alien. It's
That's
not a
true.
modern day reference to aliens or what we would think aliens are. So we have to keep
true.
in mind when it is taking place.
Right. And they had the space race going on at that time, so there was an obsession with aliens and
Right.
and space.
What they do a really good job on in this episode is they have the whole mental motive behind things. Like with the nymphomaniac, like it's a disease of the soul. It's not an actual thing. She's just a harlot. It's like
We're both looking for our quote.
I think everybody is. I
know.
think my favorite quote so far was when she says all monsters are human.
yeah, that was
Which is
really powerful.
pretty incredible.
Well, Ryan Murphy, in an article I was reading, he said an asylum is a place for the unloved and the unwanted. So he's playing on those kind of like mental imageries.
I love it when the doctor was like, well, she still thinks she's in charge.
Right. My favorite line was, "She's harmless," and then she drowned her sister's body and sliced her ears off.
Oh yes, with Pepper. What'd you guys think of Pepper? Oh my gosh, it was the first
Pepper?
Pepper, the first person that Lana Winters saw.
Oh, is
when
that
she got to
her name?
Briarcliff. Yeah, her name is
okay.
Pepper. I don't know the one who sliced the.
The one who
baby.
sliced her sister's ears off.
Yes.
Yeah.
A haircut
Sorry.
can do a
Her
lot to
name.
make you creepy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she. Ooh.
But I think that's again,
I
it's
can't.
playing on your senses of like what is and what isn't. And she had decided, because the way the girl was acting, that she was like, oh, she's harmless. And then she's like, no, not really.
Well, speaking of who is harmless and who isn't harmless, Dr. Arden versus Sister Jude.
Oh, I love the doctor.
Who do you?
I'm excited about the doctor.
Who do you think's crazier?
I think the sister is crazier.
I think the doctor's
Really,
crazier.
I'm with you, Jackie.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think the doctor is more sadistic, but the sister is crazier.
One of her quotes was, "Isn't it that the?"
But isn't manipulation like a form of insanity?
Oh, then I must be crazy. No, no. Jessica Lange ended up telling Dr. Arden that the woman would always beat the alpha male. She said, I forget the quote. It's towards the end of the
Patriarchal.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So that lets us.
The patriarch or something. Yeah, she
yeah.
said. Yeah.
See, my thing is my feelings about Sister Jude is I think she's more blinded by her faith
Yes.
Yes.
as opposed to being a nut job, and I think that Dr. Arden, on the other hand, is completely insane.
Right.
He's a man of science.
People disappear,
He's
they
crazy.
get sliced up, they get dumped in the woods.
Hey, they don't. They get fed to something in the woods.
I know.
Which we still don't know what it could be.
Yeah. Well, there's multiple things.
But I
like,
bet it lives in that room, and I bet that was the room where he stuck his hand into.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, if it lived in the room though, why would he be feeding in the woods? That's the thing. So I'm thinking there's
Maybe there's
multiple
other
like different things that
ones.
he's doing.
Yeah.
Like all the patients that have mysteriously died who have no family. She made it seem like there's been multiple. There have been four.
Four
Yeah.
from the past night.
Right.
And we still haven't heard much about Bloodyface in the '60s one. We've only seen it in the.
Kit is Bloodyface.
But we don't know that.
Wow.
Right. That's what they're referencing him
Right.
as, though.
Because that guy who was bloody face seemed a lot bigger.
Yeah, they're
Right.
saying Kid is Bloodyface. They're trying to pin it on him, but
Right.
like who he really is, like they haven't really brought up
Could be
anything.
anybody.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
Do we think Adam Levine is dead? You brought that up in the.
His
in the-
acting
Oh yeah,
was,
they're.
um,
yeah.
You know,
He didn't have to do much.
Unnecessary
do much.
roughness.
But I feel
Why
like
didn't he get that?
because I actually got
shirt
it last time. I just blamed it on you. I think that Adam Levine's character, unfortunately, probably is coming back only for viewership. They wouldn't have given us 3 separate times.
But see, he brought up the point that, okay, first off, he's listed as a guest star.
Right.
And then secondly, he brought up the point that maybe he's too expensive to keep on for the whole.
I don't know about that.
I honestly just think that they're going to be like, they're going to use it as the whole, he's dead, she gets killed by Bloodyface. Oh, let's investigate who was here, and then they
But
bring the
see,
new people
He's
in.
not too expensive, and I'll tell you a reason why. He will do it for scale. Do you know what? Because he wants to. This is a perfect opportunity for Adam Levine to transition into.
He's already been cast in a film.
Yeah. So, but I mean, working under Ryan Murphy, and come on, think about
Right.
it.
But
No, I know.
TV's not as prestigious. as
TV is
film.
actually like where everyone's moving towards now.
everyone is.
TV is more
Only because that's where you
demanding.
make the money.
Yeah. Well, it's secure.
If TV wasn't a big thing, Dustin Hoffman and Steven Spielberg would not be getting into it.
Yeah.
Doing luck.
Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg's show got
Historically, though,
canceled.
I do mean historically, though, television wasn't like. This
You
is-
are right historically.
This is a very recent
Development. Yes.
development
Right.
because
No,
this
no,
show
no,
has
that's
a
very
lot
true.
of really huge actors for not being an HBO series.
Right. That's very true. Okay.
All
Very,
right.
very true. But you can do us all here a favor at American Horror Story. If you're not already subscribing to us, subscribe. Tell your friends. Stop being creepy.
This is the American Horror Story after show.
It's the tone of the show.
Exactly.
I know, right?
You should be talking like this.
Tell your friends. Download us.
I don't know why you think I'm
Comment.
scared.
Rate.
I'm scared. That's why I'm hiding behind you.
I thought that was you need help or something.
Well, that's beside the point. But you were saying about iTunes.
That was a free shoulder massage.
No,
You
it's
should
out
take it when you
there.
get it.
It's done.
subscribe. Let us know. Send us your comments. It helps keep the lights on, and we'll answer your questions back, guys. So please subscribe.
It helps keep the lights
It helps
on.
keep the light on.
Womp,
Yes.
womp.
Hey,
Such a
we're in the
lie.
60s. Come on. Moving on.
Moving on. I don't even know what I want to talk about. What do you guys
Did you know
want to talk
Dylan
about?
McDermott's going to be a guest star?
I
Yes.
did know that. Dylan
Yes.
McDermott is returning.
So they have a cast of 50,000 people.
I mean, they did the same thing last season. We have to sort of
That's true.
keep in
They have to
mind
give it a
that
chance.
we do have to give this show a chance because I felt like season 1, the viewership was a lot smaller at the beginning, and it only grew as the season continued and people started hearing about it, and Jessica Lange was getting such praise. And it's one of those shows that you have to go along for the ride, and you have to think about it like an entire film,
Usually,
as opposed to just episodes of a series or a season.
I didn't get to talk about this, but for me, the difference between season 1 and season 2 is in that first episode of season 1, I was invested. By the time they got to the credits, I was creeped out. I was
Right.
wondering what was going to happen next. With this season opener,
I was kind of waiting for it to end.
I didn't feel it. That's why.
I agree with you on that.
I'm sort of with you. I'm not sure if they're either losing their steam with the whole theme of this type of show or if they're waiting to give us
I think
the better stuff.
I do think
with
it's
Halloween
a good
coming up.
theme. I do think it's a good theme because I think psychological terror is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
but I think the problem is the way to get someone invested in something is to give them a lot of information about one thing rather than 15 million pieces of information about a bunch of different stuff.
Right.
Because you're not going to be invested if you're seeing like person A, person B, and you don't know too much about them. You're like, why do I care?
Well, yeah, I mean, the whole thing is the problem is that if they're going to model this season after last season and at the end of it, beginning season 3, assuming that there will be a season 3, we'll start another genre of horror film. They're going to have to stop introducing things and get to the point of the show.
Right.
Because they
Yeah.
don't have that many episodes, because FX has, 13 episode seasons?
Well, maybe they were just trying to get so much information out in the first episodes so they can focus more on it. There's one thing that I've noticed about this season that has promise.
I
What do you guys
it
think
does.
of? What do you think of the alliances that they've been kind of forming? Because They have the doctor and that one.
And Sister Eunice. Who
Yeah,
I'm
Sister Eunice and the
Yeah, but
doctor.
Sister Eunice goes from side to side. She goes wherever she's needed.
Exactly. So they have a character that goes where she needed. Then you have the doctor who's on the direct side, and then you have Monsignor and.
Well, it's science versus religion.
Right.
So.
Of course, but when you have science versus religion, and then you have something that neither can explain, that's when the lines are blurred and people end up in different areas.
Well, the doctor can explain it. He just hasn't yet.
You know, and you're saying what cannot be explained. I mean, you're suggesting something supernatural,
Well, I'm suggesting that they're not really gonna.
but they're not going to have that this season. And then Ryan Murphy
I mean,
said
like
it
the
himself.
aliens. Like they're not gonna be able.
Okay.
They're not gonna really explain the aliens, because if they did that, it would just kind of. I think it would probably ruin.
But this doesn't mean we can rule out monsters, because there are
Yeah.
monsters.
But what I'm saying is, people are going to
It's
be
a lot
switching
of
a lot. I
things.
think. Why can't I remember his name? The kid Tate.
Kit.
Kit. Yeah. I think he's going to be one of the doctor's cronies, because I think the doctor.
Turn into it.
Well, no. I mean, he's got the. He found the chip in his neck with the doctor. So that's something only the two of them know, and the doctor can't disbelieve him after that.
But you don't think it's going to be patients versus, like, inmates versus people who run the asylum?
Oh no. There's always there's patients versus people who run the asylum,
Because
but then
now
there's
because he was also friends with the French girl.
Grace.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now, what I find interesting is her name alone, Grace.
Grace.
Yes.
So what is that going to mean for the? Is she the one that's going to save Kit? You know, things like
Or
that.
is he going to be the one to save her? Or are neither of them going to survive?
We're
The thing,
getting way-
the thing about her that I find fascinating is she's probably the only person in the cast that you're like, that person's not crazy. And so you're like,
She probably
she's going to be
is
really
the
crazy.
most crazy, yeah,
she's probably
absolutely.
the most crazy.
Yeah, there's something off about her, especially like most of the characters in the show interact with somebody else in some way. She only interacts with Kit.
Oh, so is this going to be Sixth Sense?
Like in a way, it feels that way
see Grace
because
people.
she's in places she
that
shouldn't
would
be.
be too much like last season.
Right.
And I don't think they'd venture into that territory.
wants to stay away from
then
But see, here's the thing. Do you
confuse
think
their
aliens,
audience.
the aliens are just people from the future? Maybe they're just time travelers.
Adam Levine is going to be an alien on American Horror Story. We heard it first here at AfterBuzz.
Our wheels are spinning because we don't know. I mean, if fans know, people that are watching, let us know your theories, what you think, because literally, you can tell we don't know.
Yeah.
That's some imagination you've got.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil.
Oh, Phil.
So what about
for
the
that.
politics in
Thanks
this?
for that.
I feel like they're bringing up politics because we have an election coming up. That is, some of the themes are reflected
I do
in the current
too.
election.
I think it is a lot of just Ryan Murphy and who he actually
That is true,
as
too.
a person.
That is true, too.
But I don't think that it hurts that an election is coming up and they're throwing stuff out there.
I just
But-
hope this doesn't get like. I used to love Glee, and then Glee got very gimmicky.
Yes.
It started to.
The episodes were based on
They were
putting
all
the voice out.
They were all based around socio-political issues, which it's great to have socio-political issues in there, but you can't let the issue become the story
Right, but
instead
Glee
of the story
is
having
also
issues.
a show for children.
There is unplanned pregnancy. I do not think that's a show for children.
We have
Secret
not.
Life of the American Teenager.
Okay.
Oh, what do you got?
Come
for us,
on.
Jackie?
There's lots
She
of
was
like
pregnant
crazy.
season 1.
Oh,
Anyway, we have
don't-
not talked about the reporter.
know.
yet.
I would not let my children watch that. if I
Lana
had
Winters?
children.
Yes, we have not mentioned her yet.
I know Sarah Paulson. Obsessed with her.
Really?
She's great.
I think she's amazing.
She's great.
Fantastic.
I think she's incredible, and I love that she's actually playing a lesbian.
That was where some of the politics was
Another
thrown at
national
you.
issue, yeah.
One of my favorite scenes of this episode was actually her interaction with Clea Duvall. Just that scene where she supported her about her going to Briarcliff. No, because it was a complete, like, the other side of the coin between Jenna Dewan and Adam Levine. I believe them. I believe the relationship. I believe the love that she had for her.
I agree.
Has for her.
Yeah, but we're also talking calibers of actors in comparison.
There's.
You're like two really good actors, and then two.
What did you think of the kind of
Dot dot dot.
the kind of back off at the end where when she's talking to her, she's like, "Everywhere I can be is all because of you," and then she ends up in the asylum because of her. It's like, oh.
You know, it's like one of those things. It's the 60s. Do you come out as a gay person in the 60s and then lose your job,
Right.
lose your home, probably get run out of town?
Of course.
The 60s.
possibly go
I
to
think
jail.
they picked the 60s though because it was such a like hot political era. You have like Vietnam War. You have all these like socio-political issues going on. You have the space race. There were a lot of very fascinating historical things, especially happening right in the middle of the 60s where they put it. So
Right. I mean, so what would?
but then you contained it all in this one space, which is also fascinating.
You're explaining like crazy stuff to me.
I like when they bring the politics of the 60s into it, but when they try to bring current events to like right in your face, like with her signing the paper, like, but you're not a family member, you don't have the rights. Like that's a very current political issue.
That is
But
true.
it is.
But
like,
I feel like a
it
lot
is
of these
just-
are still
that
current
is
political issues.
Correct. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, it is like one of those issues that even back then it was a political issue.
Do you think we could lose viewers actually because of the time period that it takes place for the most part?
No.
No, because
Not at all.
because these reflect on current political issues.
Yeah.
Because I've just seen other shows that go to different time periods and people really don't tune in, it seems like.
Mad Men. Are people not watching Mad Men anymore?
That's one.
Well,
are.
the good ones
Give me
avoid the
13 more
racism.
examples. What's that? I'm sorry?
The good ones avoid the racism. Like they have a little bit of it here, like they just have like the maid comment and everything, but they don't focus on it. So when you're going to do a show in the 60s, you're going to lose viewers if you just focus the whole show on, oh yeah, we're in the 60s, we're going to make women barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen.
That's what Mad Men does, and it's a huge draw. I mean, I'm not. Obviously, I'm not defending it, but I'm
that's
just
not the
saying
soul.
that people will watch. People will watch. People like the thing. The thing that people like is controversy. People like watching shows with controversy, and it just so happens in a lot of Ryan Murphy's stuff, the controversy happens to be more sexual to me than anything else.
Which reminds me of the scene with Monsignor and
That was awesome.
yes, and Jessica Lange's character. She was hot. Oh my God, I was in shock. I forgot that.
Why
she was
were you in shock?
Well, because
She's Jessica
Don't
Lange.
you remember last season she had like a teenage boyfriend?
Right. And she had like her bosom up to here.
I still remember her from King Kong when she looked like that, and now she's a little more seasoned, and just to see her just, well, no, she's a little older, and she.
You'd still tap that.
Absolutely, twice on Tuesday, but seeing her in that red little.
Thank God it's Thursday.
What was that, David?
Nothing.
No, but just because Ryan Murphy did say that this season was supposed to be a lot more sexual than last season.
Well, I mean, it seems like the minute you go into an insane asylum, you're like checked in, you like are rabidly masturbating nonstop and having sex with
Apparently.
everybody and anybody.
But here's the other interesting thing is she's going around like yelling at the people who are masturbating, saying that mental illness is really just people's like desire to sin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this person who has a wild sexual fantasy about her boss, basically.
She's good on the outside and maybe a little evil on the inside.
Well, it's like she is still susceptible to the rules that she holds other people's high standards to.
Correct.
Of
Because she
course.
is human.
Right. And that's why I found that fascinating, because it's like we get to see her human side, her crazy desire.
Yeah.
So do you think she'll get it on with the Monsignor?
I think she'll try.
No.
I don't think so, yeah.
No.
I think she'll try.
No, I don't think
I
she'll
think
even
it's
try.
gonna just remain like one of those things that's in her head.
It's like they add it to create the intensity between them, but I don't think that she's ever going to act
what
on
if
it.
he
I
has
agree.
the same thoughts?
I don't think he does. He's gonna turn out to be a homo. I'm putting it out there. It's Ryan
You
Murphy.
heard it first at AfterBuzz.
It's Ryan Murphy. We have a lesbian couple. There has to be a gay guy in it.
A gay priest. Oh, that would
There's
be
gotta
political.
be something, right? Has to be something.
Oh my.
What did you mentioned the word gay? Phil pops his head up.
Oh, that's her from King Kong.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, she was hot.
It's beautiful. If you're not
gorgeous.
watching us on, whatever you're watching us on,
AfterBuzz TV.
After
called
Buzz
computers.
TV.
whatever it is,
YouTube.
there's a picture of a young Miss Jessica Lange in a
Phil, will you keep that picture up for the rest
giant
of the show?
monkey hand.
Wow. Aw.
Come on,
Damn.
we're not talking
There
about
is a
that.
lady present. Thanks.
They took her off.
Yeah, they took her off the screen.
Did any of you, when they first panned to the gas prices, were you like, oh?
I actually didn't catch that.
I didn't even
Yes.
notice.
30 cents a gallon.
It didn't even cross my mind to look
And
at
I
the gas
feel like
prices.
that was another like little political thing because that's the first shot you see of the 60s is of the really super cheap gas prices where you've got the like handy helper gas man. And I was like,
I don't know if that was so much political as it really is like a
you don't
simple
think
image
gas
to
prices are a political issue?
No, it is, but it's kind of a brilliant writing technique because it sets the scene and the time period without having to even explain anything. Like you don't need to be like, oh, here's an old car, oh, here's an old motor. Gas prices, oh, they're 30 cents. This must be in the 60s.
But remember, the customer was outraged by the prices as we are today.
I know, exactly.
Okay, that
but that was
the-
another. I was like, oh, this is so interesting. It's already political. Did you also notice how in the asylum? So first off, we're in a contained space. Like these people can't escape. So it's like a symbol of the prison of your own mind. And in the prison of your own mind, the staircase is just a spiral that goes up. So it has that
Stairway to Heaven.
The Stairway to Heaven. That's what they call it. What do you think of the music? Is there a significance to that music that's going to be coming back throughout the season?
That was the
I
score
don't
from
think
Carrie.
so.
Really?
That was the score from Carrie.
All right.
Look at you.
I read.
I wish they would bring in some of the music
read.
that they had in the previews.
Oh.
Que Sera Sera, that was what it was in the previews. They had like this wonderful like old timey like cutesy music that just was very jarring with the scenes, and I wish they would have brought that in. I guess they might.
They might. You never know. They might surprise us, as they always seem to do.
They might throw in some newer music too, like because we have the present day thing. I'm wondering where they're going to go with that. I really don't know because they haven't provided any real story for present day.
Right.
Well,
and you would
I mean,
assume
they
with a flashback, you would assume that you are. Usually when a flashback is set up like that, you are the character in the present time. So you're either Adam Levine or Jenna Dewan Tatum, and this is your experience of the past. So you're like, you are them essentially, but it wasn't set up correctly if that's what it is.
Well,
which
not
is why I just
necessarily.
don't
Not
understand it.
necessarily.
No,
So-
because they don't intercut enough.
No, but what if we're trying to figure out who the narrator of the whole story is this
Right.
season?
Right.
So could it be just Bloodyface?
That would be
Very
That would
possible.
make more
I don't
sense.
think so.
But that would make more
Because
sense.
that ties it in.
Because when
You're
they
right.
do,
You're right.
there's only really a couple cuts where they compare where they distinctly compare now and then, like when she's running down the hall and then they switch back
Right.
to the 60s. I feel if they were the narrators, we would get more of those
Well, we
images,
still
which is why I don't
might.
understand their function.
I mean,
It's too
last
early.
season,
Junction.
they used the opening of each episode to explain who the new ghost was or like what was going to be going on in the episode. And I feel like because this opener sort of came back to us twice throughout the episode, it is going to be something that's going to continue on throughout the season.
It's just so far, it goes along with the thing I was saying at the beginning. It's so far, it doesn't give us much information.
Right, it doesn't.
Because there wasn't enough time when you're throwing in everything
Right.
else.
No,
So
I know.
doesn't it pique your curiosity? And would
It
for
does,
fans?
but not in a way that's like cohesive. It doesn't give me enough information to be like, oh, I'm hooked. It gives me enough information to be like,
What's going on?
WTF.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking of piquing your curiosity, here at AfterBuzz we have a great new fall lineup.
Oh,
How about
do
you tell
we?
us about that, David?
I know nothing about it.
Really? Well, I know a lot about it. We have some amazing shows coming out every week. We do over 50 shows a week here at AfterBuzz TV. You can check out us on iTunes. Be sure to subscribe or Twitter us at AfterBuzzTV.com or AfterBuzz TV to find out more about the shows we do. We do Dexter. We do American Horror Story, of course.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Sons of
Vampire
Anarchy.
Diaries
Yes.
later on tonight.
And don't forget Brittany and X Factor, baby.
And can we find any of you guys in any other shows too?
I'm on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Vampire Diaries later
X
tonight.
Factor. Oh, there we go. Plugging our own shows.
Yeah, come on.
But
come
yeah,
on,
definitely
get
check
with it.
that out. Sorry about piquing your curiosity.
And on that note, I think we should jump to a quick commercial break, come back with news and gossip, and go into predictions for the season.
This is how long David's been here. We don't do commercials anymore.
We don't do
Look,
commercials.
I want to do a commercial.
No commercial.
I hate you, Phil.
Billy Mays here with another.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Oh, any news and gossip? Do we
They
have?
don't
Yes.
do commercials?
We gotta. Yes. we,
See, I'm not the only one, Phil.
We can talk about.
I've been here that long too, apparently.
Dylan McDermott.
Here's
being
what
back.
we do. Fans didn't like commercials. We
Right.
listened to the
I know
fans.
that.
We
I'm
got
sorry,
rid of
fans.
commercials. That's right. We listened
David
to
and I are
fans.
teasers, apparently.
Yeah, there's no commercial because Phil hates me. Look, Emma Roberts and Evan Peters get artsy in LA. Emma Roberts and her boyfriend, Evan Peters, stepped out on the Art of Elysium's Genesis event powered by Ciroc Vodka in Los Angeles this past Friday. Inside the event, the couple, who both will star in the upcoming film Adult World, enjoyed cocktails and happily posed for photos.
How long have they been dating? 0.25
I don't think
seconds?
that long, because a while...
wasn't she dating Cord Overstreet and then everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
The world.
Anyway, now she's dating Evan Peters. She is a lot like, I feel like her ex-boyfriend who dates his co-stars.
Matt Damon?
I'm not picking up on this one.
I can't remember his name right now. He's an English actor. He was in Magic Mike.
Channing Tatum?
Alex Pettyfer, yeah.
Yes.
So Alex Pettyfer and her did a movie together when they were really young, and they dated for a really long time. And then they broke up, and then she did something with Cord Overstreet and started dating him. He did something with Diana Agron, and they started dating.
That was Glee.
It's like, what?
Wasn't he in Glee with what's her face?
With Diana?
Yeah.
No, he was in I Am Number 4.
Oh.
And I feel like the two of them will end up back together. Just putting that out there.
Okay. Relationship advice. with
Relationship
David.
advice. Alex and Emma, get back together. You're meant for each other.
We got more news?
We do have more
Yay.
news. American Horror Stories Jessica Lange. Did she have plastic surgery? She has been reported by Radar Online to have undergone a good deal of plastic surgery over the past few years, according to the expert celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Anthony Yoon. Lang, 63, who plays Constance Langdon on American Horror Story, which is not true anymore, looks very different than she used to, according to the doctor, who describes Lang's transformation from how she looked when she starred on Tootsie with Dustin Hoffman in 1982.
Oh, it's a good thing that they're picking something from 1982 to compare her to.
I know,
People
but
age.
what do you know? That they're saying that she looks, as having
think
aged as a woman, she would have looked
I'm
differently
okay with
now
that.
than
Okay.
she would.
I'm
then.
okay with that because she hasn't redone her face to the point of looking like a bizarre alien.
Yeah.
No, because she's still.
She looks age appropriate,
She does.
and if she wants to get a chin tuck or an eye lift, I'm
Little
fine with
This
that.
is Hollywood.
It is Hollywood. I don't mind. I think she
Slippery
looks great.
slope.
I love her.
She looks great, and
She
she
can
doesn't
do
look
no wrong.
overdone, so I don't really care.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame people for doing the stuff they're gonna do. Why not? Like, right?
It's only when they start to have creepy face that you're like, okay, stop.
They started looking like a cat.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your AfterBuzz TV news and gossip.
I have-
Hard to find. What do you have? I just said that.
I have the costume.
Look at that.
Yeah.
If you guys are looking to be something, if you haven't found your
For
Halloween
Halloween.
costume, this is available for you.
It's a latex or no polyester.
What is it? I doubt it's latex.
All the
because
guys here are
how
gonna
much
wear
did
that
this
for
cost?
Halloween.
You're making me horny.
It's polyester. How much did this cost you?
Well, I get credits on Amazon, so I got it
Okay.
for like $20.
Wow,
See,
look
you
at
should have put it on, Steve.
Did you buy it through AfterBuzz TV?
I did not, so I did not make Phil Svitek 5 cents.
Is it stretchy? Have you tried
I have
it
not
on
tried
yet?
it on yet. I didn't want to take it out of the package because
I imagine that it's going to be very large.
Did you bring condoms?
Yes.
yes, we did.
It is a condom.
This is it is.
And if you don't want to go this route, you can always just go to your local sex shop and buy a latex suit for yourself.
Or
Be the best sex you will ever have.
the
Probably not.
Did anyone realize that the scientist James Cromwell also has latex gloves?
Yes.
I was like, oh, nice
the right
touch.
theme.
I keep
The
doing this like I'm
22-year-old
standing.
virgin
So-
is in the house.
So
Really, Phil?
Steven, you're saying this why? So
Why is Phil
giving
hating?
people ideas for what to wear for Halloween. and
Exactly.
what-
I mean, this can be anything. You can be
Or
the
you
rubber
could be
man
the
with the
creepy,
sombrero.
You
You
could
could
be
be
the
the rubber
creepy
man.
eyeball lady too from last season. The maid eyeball lady.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
they
She
do
is
have that
also
costume.
coming back
Yeah, she is.
this season.
I love
Frances
her.
Conroy.
I love her.
She will be back.
No, because I want to find out when we're gonna see that white nun.
Oh
The one
yeah.
that's in all white. The face is white. and
That
she's-
is
I
just
think
like
it's just
one of
an
those things for the
advertisement.
promos.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think that's going to be like.
I think
I think it's
we
a
can
promo thing.
predict when
Maybe
we're
we
gonna
talk-
see.
Yeah, I mean, we
her.
might as
Talk
well
about
jump
that.
into predictions for the rest of the season.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Rest of the season, I don't even know what's gonna go on next week.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
we can have our assumptions, right? That's why we call
Yeah.
them predictions. Where would you like to see the season to go? Let's say that.
I'm just like I said. I'm still crestfallen that it's not moving. I want supernatural, so I don't know. I really. I'm still lusting after season 1, and I can't get past it. Literally.
It's time to move on.
Yes,
Jackie.
Shut down.
It is not season 1. We actually can't compare them to each other
They're
because
two
they are
different
very
entities.
different entities.
The only thing we can compare is the acting.
Correct. No, we can't even do that.
No, but
You can.
Oh my God.
No,
Yes,
you
we
can.
can.
Okay, so as far as the season goes, what would you like to see?
I think that the aliens are really going to be time travelers from the future.
Oh, you're putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Time travelers from the future. I like it. What do you think?
I just think like
Hey, I have ideas.
it?
Don't mock
It's
me.
a prediction.
I'm not mocking you. I'm
We're
saying
allowing you to
if
have your prediction.
If it just turns into that. Welcome
If
to
it
American Horror Story Season 2, Aliens from the Future in the 60s.
Jump the
with
shark.
She didn't say aliens, she said
Exactly.
time travelers.
Time travelers.
Yeah.
I said from the
I think
future.
they're actually
That's the same.
people, and because whenever you see those movies where people time travel, people always think that from the past think that the people from the future are aliens because they're dressed differently.
It's true.
H&M.
That's very true. And there could be like a stamp, like a.
Maybe we're also
the
going to
place.
see some like.
I don't know how to explain it.
Maybe we'll see some characters that come in with like a goatee, and then you see them without the goatee, so they have like an evil one, a good one.
Okay, that's
That's a really.
I stand by my idea.
I'm being
Aliens
an
from the
ass.
future.
I'm sorry.
I stand
That's
by
a
it.
really great prediction.
I'm gonna hold on to my prediction until the end.
I'm into it.
now you're out of
I'm into
control.
it. You're out of control.
No, there's something that you mentioned last week that maybe should be brought up. That Ryan Murphy said that there was going to be one huge, colossal
Twist at the end.
Yes.
It wasn't Ryan Murphy though. It was the girl who plays the cheerleader. Ryan
Oh.
Murphy didn't say anything.
Oh,
It was
okay.
the girl who plays the cheerleader, and she said there's an opportunity for me to come back because there's a giant twist at the end. But I have not yet been asked back. So you take that as you will. I take it as aliens from the future. Bam.
Interesting.
Damn.
Where do you go with that one, David?
I'm gonna have
I
to
like that you're on my aliens from the future
think
team.
about it. If I remember correctly, that music really fell. Come on, what are you doing to me?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
If I remember correctly from last season, I didn't make any predictions on the first episode. I waited. I hate
Wrong
you.
answer.
I hate you.
We need to know. Come on, David.
I have to wait until
Oh, come
episode
on. You
2.
wanted me to say something. Come on.
I really don't have any predictions as far as what might be happening. What I would like to see and what I think is going to happen, I think this year Sarah Paulson is going to be nominated for an Emmy.
I would hope so.
Because I think she's
I would hope
already,
so.
episode 1, doing an incredible job.
Yeah.
And from the small clip of what we saw what's going to be happen throughout the season, she's going to be, I think, our quote-unquote breakout star.
Yeah.
I think we might see some characters that are only figments of an imagination as we
That's a good call.
move towards who the story is actually in the person of.
Yeah.
Right.
And remember, Dr. Arden said that the devil is in the front cortex of the mind,
Yeah.
so that everything is made up. So that's why it could be scarier than last season. So
Can't wait for our first lobotomy.
there we go.
Wait, what if the whole
don't
thing is just
know.
created in someone's
Exactly.
mind?
Yeah.
That's what I thought all along.
Ah.
So
Well, I mean,
Just like
we
everybody's
did
dead.
something last season where we compared each episode to a horror film. And if you're going with it being created in someone's mind, it's not a horror film, but watch it anyway. It's kind of really stupid. Sucker Punch takes place in a mental institution as well. And everything sort of happens in one character's mind. And it involves like lobotomies and all that stuff and cute young girls and strippers.
Really hot girls.
You know, it's entertaining for a second. It's not scary, but
If you're a straight male, watch Sucker Punch.
it's fun to watch.
haven't
I'm
seen
just
it.
gonna
Time
put
to
it
watch
out
it.
there. Just watch it.
Nice.
It's fun. I enjoyed it. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you all next week here at the AfterBuzz TV studios. Have a wonderful night.
subscribe, tweet us, follow us.
Where
can they
find
follow you?
Oh, you can follow me at the Everyday Man.
Jackie,
I'm at 123 Jackie_B.
Steven.
I'm at Stephen Lemieux.
And I am at You Can Call Me Skiff. That's the letter U can call me Skiff.
You guys have the weirdest Twitter name.
I hate you, Phil. Have a good night.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.